There we are. Don't know why that reset, but we're here. Welcome aboard, everyone. Uh, so happy Valentine's Day, first and foremost. Welcome to the stream. I have never played Doki Doki Literature Club, the first one. I watched people like Markiplier play it. I know that this is different somehow. I don't know how, and also it's been a long time since I've seen those videos, so I might have forgotten a few things. In fact, probably most of the game. But I remember some of the big plot points, which, if you're new to this, then I will not spoil for you. But I've got nothing else to say in regards to what we're about to play. Let's just get started. God, I love that tune. Oh God, I forgot. I need to. I need to voice act for this. Hey! Oh God, that was awful. I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor, and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today. But it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. Yeah. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school... Is the audio okay? Hold up. What the... Okay. Starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again. God, is that her voice for this? Yeah, it's her voice. But I caught up you. But I caught you this time. That's such an awful voice. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. This is gonna be an awful thing, isn't it? That's mean, Bozek. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me, after all. Jeepers creepers. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean, even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. I got you sounding like the worst voice, the worst dub actor trying the least amount, putting in the least amount of effort. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near the streets, become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Bozek, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. That works. I haven't been looking either. Eh? That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did. In one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average. What is that sentence? When I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Okay, that makes more sense reading that like that. Huh? Sheesh. That did not work. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. Hey, Stylish. Good evening, and happy Valentine's Day. my gift to you, my terrible voice acting. Oh. I got Sayori here sounding like the worst English dub voice actor putting in the least amount of effort. And I was actually trying at the start, but now I've just kind of given up and accepted that that's where she is. Oh. Mm. Oh, those pizza rolls are still too hot. Okay. That was my mistake. Sayori must have come in the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting there and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. God, my voice is breaking doing this too. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you later to your own club. Ah. Let me... Oh. I actually need to take off a couple of tags, too. Like, challenged. I actually just realized. There we go. Terrible voice acting, we'll add. And then if we refresh the page, and there we go. Got some more tags. Ah. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought you know. So I thought, you know. Know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Oh. Sayori? Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Meanie? Oh god, I think I scared away people. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. The more tags you use, the more you will get new viewers. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. I just never. Does that tell you how empty my head is sometimes? It just never occurred to me to do it. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please! Why do you care so much, anyway? Well... I thank you, Stylish. I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! Holy. Oh, I remember. I forgot to add that. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Professional streamer. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Stylish. Now type in exclamation mark X. Just lowercase x. Try it now. There we go. I forgot to turn it on. I set it up, but I didn't turn it on. I'm a dunce. You doing it reminded me. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Yes, I have. God. I stayed up late last night trying to put together a bunch of Twitch clips out of the collab stream I did with Sophie. I didn't get much sleep last night. Okay, so let me put it this way. Last night I went to sleep at 9:30 p.m. I wake up at midnight to get ready for work. So right now I'm running off of coffee. Some late afternoon coffee. I'm a little tired, but I have to say going through the stream to get some clips was worth it. I at least in my eyes, you know. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you. No. I told you, don't call me a new member. Eh? I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. That's better for her, I think. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? See, these two actually have better voices than Sayori. Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Bozek. What a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry? Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girl. Oh, well, I didn't say that quietly into the microphone. Thank you for that game. Anyway, this is Natsuki. Always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica. Wow. I tripped over her name with that. And it sounds like you already know Monica. Is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Bozek. Monica smiles sweetly. Again? Oh, wait. Is this assuming that I played the original Doki Doki? That's actually kind of cool. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked. Okay, no, never mind. Just let the game do its thing. But we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come, sit down, Bozek. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. God. I absolutely could never be a voice actor. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Wow! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I... Haven't I heard this somewhere before? made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe. But not for, you know, you, dummy. Alright. Well, Tsundere has been identified. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. At least the main character kind of identifies her in some way, you know. It's not just the typical visual novel slash anime thing of like, oh, she hates me so much. He kind of, it's just like, I've heard that line before, you know. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess? What's going on? Oh. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature... So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Yeah, kind of not a great introduction here. You just say like, well, I was kind of forced to join by my best friend who kind of tricked everyone in here. Oh, by the way, let's just there we go. There we go. That's better. I'm not doing the challenge thing anymore. Well, at least not for this stream. This is a relaxing stream. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader! Oh god, I haven't done that in a while. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events and like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow in this club before we graduate. Right, everyone?
Yeah!
We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Hold on. Gotta adjust my headset here. No, that's better. Sorry, my head's slightly hurting. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm. That's better. About literature. So, Bozek, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. True enough, I mean, just look at Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. God, I'm trying to remember. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What?
What gives you that idea?
You left a scrap of paper, a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called...
Don't say it out loud! And give that back!
Fine, fine.
Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are.
Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders.
I'm not cute.
Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime?
No.
Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience? Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri.
I wanted to read everyone's poems.
We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea for everyone. Huh? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even.
Yeah, let's do it.
Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Bozek? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on. There's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But... I'm sorry, I thought.
Bozek!
You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up.
Yes, I'm so happy.
Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came out for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess? Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Bozek, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah? Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food.
Hey, Bozek, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together?
That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well.
Yay!
With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances. I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. So, if I'm remembering correctly, dark and dreary, cute and energetic, and I don't know what yours is. So, vivid? Pleasure. Landscape. Treasure. Ooh. Effulgent. To whose hair? Of course. Boop, disown, playground climax. Explode, disoriented, death, essence, peaceful, rain cloud. I have a feeling I know who. Yeah. Fantasy. Really? Fantasy for you? Vanilla and chocolate. Determination. Judgment. Doki Doki. Desire. Infallible. Beauty. Uncanny. Insight. Vivacious. Covet. Unrestrained. Whisper. Oh. Whisper. I guess we got, Yuri. Hi again, Bozek. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Bozek. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Ooh. Manga is literature. I mean, I agree. You know, just because it's a different format of literature does not mean it's not literature. I mean, I grew up reading comic books. And I wouldn't trade that for anything. The stories I read of, like, Batman and Superman and Spider-Man and all that, I wouldn't trade for any novel. No, they had just as important of lessons as any of these, like, novels that you would read nowadays. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat.
Don't worry, guys. Bozek always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room.
How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once.
Is that so?
You two really are good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous.
How come? You and Bozek can become good friends, the two.
Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into.
Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know?
Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really.
Don't be shy.
It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. Ooh. Gotta get my leg into a more comfortable position. There we go. What do I do?
I'm sorry. Yuri, I wasn't thinking.
I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Oh my goodness. I think I got... something got caught in my throat. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Whew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori... What the hell was I about to say? Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Whoop. And I just skipped over that. What was that? Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious. How come you have 2 copies of the same book? Ah, well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them? I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well... Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. That I remember. From Mr. MatPat. Back in Doki Doki Literature Club's original game. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Oh, okay. There we are.
Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Bozek?
No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that
those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective.
Ain't that the truth? I mean, just look at books like just look at any Lovecraftian book. I mean, the stories in that sit there and make you question if even the characters are seeing what they are seeing. And then I don't even want to get into something like Bloodborne or Prey. Prey that makes you think, well, what if we found alien life, but it just at doesn't recognize us as sentient life, you know. It's it's a spacefaring creature, but it just doesn't recognize uh, uh, us or that fact that it makes us suffer or anything.
When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize.
I haven't lost interest in it or anything. Well, I guess it's all right then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much.
I really don't think you need to worry. That just means that you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all.
Ah, that's true.
In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right?
You don't have to.
What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag.
All right,
it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just let me... Okay, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. I completely misread that. I read, just let me if I end up distracting you or anything. I didn't read tell.
All right. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. For some reason, my eyes are giving me a hard time. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. Ah, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Okay. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb. After it flips to her side, but in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Sayori's face. That's not Sayori. That's Yuri. That's not Sayori. That's... what am I thinking? Oh my god. Oh. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? No. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah? Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri? This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remained silent for a moment. But Bozek, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. So that's so embarrassing that you think that. Uh, wait. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I'm more meant that it's kind of cute. Ah? What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Ah! Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that all right, Yuri? You look down. Kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Whoa, my eyes. Okay. Ooh. By the way, did you... sorry. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share it with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from from where I sit. Jeepers creepers. The screen is bright. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Alright. Well, obviously, just Monica. I should start with Monica. Yesterday, she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in effort. Hi, Bozek. Have a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better. Oop. Okay. If you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring these things up. I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Bozek. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Mm-hmm. Great job, Bozek. I was going, ooh, in my head while reading it. That's kind of unconvincing. You sit there, it's just like read a whole poem and it's just you have to describe the sound effects that you were feeling. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. Ha ha ha. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It could take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. I keep messing up on who's speaking. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. I love the way you say that when there was literally a impression thing beforehand. Ooh. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright, it was too deep, stretching forever into everything, a hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out, and he, on the other side, was looking in. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Ooh. Ooh. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. Ain't that the truth? I remember back in my God, what was it, high school or middle school days? You sit there and you're just like, okay, I wrote a really great piece for class tomorrow. And you just get absorbed into one fixed point, and you forget about the actual topic, and you keep moving. Sometimes, okay. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks. Thank you for listening. Who should I show my poem to next? Well, Yuri seems to like she's gonna be the primary recipient, so we're gonna hold off on her. This is a good poem, Bozek. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're not. You're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. Oh. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Bozek. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know. There's something that only really good people do. That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motives here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure that you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel kind of like you miss me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed. Are you asking me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes? Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a raining day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be so mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Who should I show my poem to next? I am going to take a quick break because my throat is kind of killing me right now. BRB. I'm back, and I got some water. Uh, oh God, that doing these voices tears up my throat. uh, okay, let's continue. We'll save Yuri for last. Let me, uh... Sorry about the quick break, everyone. Eh. Hmm? Well, it's about time. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes. Do you want to get smacked? I mean, you're a tsundere. I kind of expect it. I'll pass. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, I told you you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like... Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? God, I'm getting these voices mixed up. Ugh. Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly! I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what that's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. And then last is Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. Eh? What was that? Did I just say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. What's going on? Damn. Okay. That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Oh. Yuri takes a breath, So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I've just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down one more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit with the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem? Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe calm. Okay, I can't read this word. Calm. Breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. I mean, it's different, I'll give you that. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Did it really pick up my time reading it? Maybe? Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Bozek. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive, too. So, nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. Ah, you know, I was really nervous about doing all this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Bozek. Me too. Whew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Bozek did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Bozek liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our newest member, Yuri. That's not what I... Oh. You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Bozek appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Catfight? Huh? And how do you now know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Ooh. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Bozek started showing up. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, you guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. Bozek, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Bozek. Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning that the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Bozek? Well... How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So, of course, that's going to be... Natsuki? Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yuri. Yuri? But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori! Huh? Yeah. Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Bozek! Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop! Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. Ugh. Jeepers, creepers. Ugh. My friends are wonderful people. And I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? Because, well... Also, Natsuki's cute, and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were. Big and beautiful. Sayori? Sayori stands triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why Sayori is vice president. I whisper to Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader, and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Haha. Nah, it's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be Wow! I almost read that completely wrong. I need to... she might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. Yeah, sure. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say that it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Bozek, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learned something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself. I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Bozek! Ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori? About what happened earlier. Huh? What do you mean? Jeepers creepers, doing her voices. Her voice is the worst for my throat. You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I need to read who's speaking before I do. I was about to do my character's voice. I can see why they made good friends. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Whew. You know, Bozek, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think this voice is really starting to kill me. But too late, we're committed to the bit. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... I'm realizing that I'm sounding like the goblins from Warcraft 3. I'll be a blast. Every day is going to be so much fun. And now I see Sayori in my head riding one of the goblin lumberjack machines from Warcraft 3. Oh. Or as one of the sappers from
Oh, God. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her. But it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay! Yeah, let's do this. Ugh. Jeepers creepers. Explode. Fireworks. Oh. Heaven sent? Essence. Infallible. Disoriented. Lust. Sensation. Fester. Let's do beauty. Oh, that's you? Beauty is Sayori? Okay. Precious. Unrestrained. Climax. Determination. Love. Afterimage. Portrait. Graveyard. Ah. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hi, Bozak! Yo, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today. I'm just glad. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. I see. Hey, Mackenzie. Welcome to the stream, and say hello to my horrible voice acting. I was just making comments about I sound like the goblin sappers from Warcraft 3. Sayori is officially in my head. Riding around on a goblin lumberjack machine. Oh. Oh. My voices for the other girls are better, but damn, she just came out and I was like, what? That's what we're going with. out. That's, that's terrible, but it's what came out is what we're going with. That's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. But I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kinda hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. Eh? That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori? Eh? Why that all of a sudden? No reason, really. Fuck you, bite yourself. I just wanted to look at it. Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then she turns it upside down and lets the contents spill onto her desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. Ah. I knew it. I knew it. I've switched who it was there, didn't I? I knew it. I can see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the club room. Cheap bitch. So either you're not hungry and wanted an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would lend you some. Big brain time, yep. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. And so that only leaves the one option. Ah! I give up! Don't make me feel guilty! If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Execute Order 66. Yuri suddenly giggles. Eh? I didn't notice that she was listening in. Her face is in her book, as always. I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri! Tell Bozak to let me borrow some money. That's... Don't get me involved like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. I'm liking Yuri more and more. And by the way, I'm sorry for blocking her face. I just saw that on the stream. I'm totally blocking her face. Oh my god. That's not even right. Hold on. Why was that like that? Oh. Okay. Now, we gotta... Too bad, Mackenzie. I shall expose you. Oh god, I should get like a Dr. Evil emote. or you know what? That's gonna be on the Twitch points thing when I when I unlock it is just a Dr. Evil laugh. Happy Valentine's Day, but yeah. I forgot to say that, but yes, happy Valentine's Day. I'm having too much fun with my poor voice acting. Ah, did I just... I didn't mean that. You rejected a woman today. I got too absorbed into my book. Oof. Ah ha ha ha! I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. I flip it around. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. You rejected a woman today? Wow. There's no way you could think that. Oh, God. Voice actors go through this, man. I mean, I could see your viewpoint there, man. It's... there are lots of people who have that mentality, and I can't blame them, you know. The world is just really really tough these days. But did I really block her face? Did I really? I mean, we could go back. We could go back. There's no way you could think that. You were right, though. I did something bad, and now I have to accept the revolution. Retribution. I'm glad that wasn't just a typo. That was the thing. Yeah, Mackenzie, you shall learn to live in fear of me. That! Still, coming from you, Sayori. I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? Don't let her fool you. Or don't let her fool you. Ah! Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk. He says, "Free food? I'm in." Yeah! Ow! What was... A cookie! Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? It's because I paid my restitution. Retribution? Actually, that one almost worked. I was just gonna give it to you. Then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. Food! Food! I was literally just... I was literally just eating some pizza rolls, so yes, food.
It was totally worth seeing your reaction, though.
Natsuki! That's so nice of you! I'm so happy! Okay, man, you're turning into the birds from Finding Nemo. Mine? Mine? Food? Food? Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. So good! Sayori suddenly clasps her hands over her mouth. I bit my tongue!
You're going through a lot over just one cookie.
Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Ah, yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it?
Jeez. Beggars can't be choosers.
But yours is chocolate.
Yeah, why do you think I gave you that one?
Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her.
Ah, jeez. I get it.
Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off of her. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie.
Hey! Did you seriously just do that?
Yep, she officially has the giggle from the goblins in Warcraft 3. My cookie. Well, Sayori is just out here taking bites of everyone's cookies. Mouth full, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well.
Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monika, can you tell Sayori?
Natsuki glances around.
Well, you're
out of luck on that one, man. Monika isn't in the club room.
Ugh. Where's Monika anyway?
Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today?
Not me!
Yeah, I haven't either.
That's a bit unusual.
I hope she's okay.
Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all.
You don't think she has a...
I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined.
That's true.
Excuse me?
Suddenly, the door swings open.
Sorry, I'm super sorry.
Yep, there's number 4. Shit. Really? I'm trying to make a voice for Natsuki. Is it that? Is it that, similar?
I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Eh! Monica chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. Boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? Monica quizzically glances at me.
I mean, you know. It's sometimes you're better off without one, but it is nice to have a partner, you know.
Never mind that. What held you up anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring at least. I must not have heard it, since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monica. I don't really. I kind of just started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano.
That's so cool! You should play something for us, Monica.
That's... Monica looks at me. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will.
Yay!
That sounds cool. I'd also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Bozek. Monica smiles sweetly.
I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that.
Don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently, and I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready.
Shit, my voice is... I'm very tempted to just go full Vader with you, Mackenzie. Search your feelings, you know them to be true. They exist whether you accept them or not. Hey, yeah. That's cool. 3 viewers.
I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I?
No, not really.
I choose to leave out Sayori's mischievous
I can't speak.
You must accept that women exist, Mackenzie. Give in to it. Do it.
Oh, damn it. Hold on. Because now...
Damn it. I can't find it. Can't find the sound clip I was looking for. Oh well. It's not that important. Oh, thank you for the compliment. I choose to leave out Sayori's mischievous ex. I still fucked it up. I messed it up once. I left, came back, and then I fucked it up again. I can't get past this line. I choose to leave out Sayori's mischievous escapades. There. Mischievous. Ugh. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. It looks like everyone has already settled down. Sayori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Shit. If this is how voice actors go, what voice actors go through, damn. I will never disrespect a voice actor again. Ugh. I go back to regular voice. Yuri is back to her book, and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. Wait, what? She just disappeared back into... She... What does that mean? She disappeared into the closet. She just went into Narnia? She just went full Lion Witch in the wardrobe. She just like opened that thing and stepped in. Hey, Yuri. I suddenly noticed that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Ah, no. I was kind of just waiting for you. Ah, if that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started? Yes, let's. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. What? I'm sorry. So, we have Natsuki stepping into the closet. She walks over to the closet to pull out tea. How big is this fucking closet? I'm wondering how big this fucking closet is. The closet is the fuck closet. I don't... It sounds like we could fit a lot in that closet. And I'm not sure how to feel about that. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside. There's a bag of holding in there. Yeah. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle.
done. I'm past questioning it at this point. At this point, I'm just. This is Deadpool magic satchel, bullshit. Where he's like just pulls out whatever he needs from from a crack in the ground. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk, and then we'll go get some water. Actually, let me reread it. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk, and then we'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts with her speaking mannerisms. Especially because of her long legs, Yuri appears elegant and methodical. I mean, we like the long legs here. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you. Oh, fuck. That was wrong. I shouldn't try to do Gollum. That backfired. Yeah, why not? Shall we go then? Yeah. Where are you two off to? We're just... Yuri was going to make some tea, so... I suddenly realize how weird it sounds to explain this to Monica. We're just filling the water pitcher. Ah, okay. Sorry, I was just a bit curious. That's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? That's... Monica, please mind your own business for once. Damn! That was a passive, sort of... Yeah, that was a passive mind your own damn business, woman. That was a... Or do you want to tell me that there's something wrong with helping involve both? What the fuck was that sentence? Or do you want to tell me there's something wrong with helping involve Bozic in club activities? Wow. Yuri just goes for the throat, doesn't she? My mouth gapes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. Then let's go, Bozic. Okay. Yuri quickly exits the room and I follow. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that? Yuri? Something about the way she said that. It made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me? No, Yuri. I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that. Bozic, how come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me? Because nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions, and we can't always hide them away. But you always amplify things in your head. Hey, I've experienced that. Your mind runs a light rain shower. Do it? What the fuck? How did I turn that into? Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane.
No. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that? Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that? Friend, you say? Uh, um... Yuri lifts her head. Bozek, I really like being friends with you. Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you, too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that, but I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyway, yeah. Shall we go? Yeah. Yuri and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom. Bozek, do you like oolong tea? Yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others. Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything? In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show. And you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around, anyway. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me, Bozek. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watch Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Bozek, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Why's that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because my, uh, my, your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading? Yes! I have terrible reading posture. So that's why we should sit on the floor. Welcome back, McKin. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieve the book from my bag. Ah, I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I kept hidden from Sayori's candy radar. I take it since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Ugh. I just looked at the stream and saw my camera being, like, really not centered on me. Each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Ah, sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. Ah, that's okay. I won't take any. Are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then it might get smudges on the pages. Ah, you're right. Oh, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna burn her. Not all women are bad. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. Depending. I'll hold the book. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri is already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if the situation was completely natural, but that means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Bozek. Sorry? I guess I shouldn't have done that? Well, you were just helping. That's something that friends do, right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but yeah, that's all it was. Yeah, then you don't need to stop or anything. I see. The situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, but I can tell just by her expression that even she can't focus now. My heart is pounding. I don't know, I don't got friends. Yeah, it's... There's levels, you know? It's like, if you're pranking each other and everything, you know, you can kind of mess around a little bit. Like me and Sophie do, you know, where we'll give each other a hard time. You know, it's we're friends like that where we can kind of give each other jabs, you know. Yeah, in the game, she hits me with a stop sign, I blow her up with a landmine, you know, stuff like that. But it's random, you know, just violence. It's
It ain't my cup of tea. Oh yeah, the party hat girl. we'll give each other jabs, but at the end of the day, we're still friends. Yo. Yes. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers, but this time Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I notice her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breaths. I raise my arm. Ah. Like before, Yuri parts her lips. But it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. I feel her hot breath on my fingers. Okay, everyone. Whoa! Ah! Yuri jolts back. It's time to share poems. Bozek, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. That's not Monica's voice. Okay, thanks. I think that's more correct. Right? Yeah, I think so. The spell is abruptly broken. I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. Who should I show my poem to first? Well, let's get Natsuki out of the way. Because she's not gonna like this. I liked your last one better. Really? Well, yeah, I can tell you were a little more daring with this one. But you're really not good enough for that yet. It fell flat. That may be true, but I just wanted to try something different. I'm still figuring this all out. I mean, I always like poems that aren't trying too hard. I hate when people try to sound fancy or add more meaning just by using annoying and complicated language. Just make it simple, cute, and to the point. Oh, ugh. Yuri's head over heels for all this cryptic nonsense, but I see right through that BS. Ha! Making your reader look so hard for all this deep meaning is just an excuse to have no meaning at all. I guess that's one way to look at it. Well, everyone has their own opinion, but my opinion is the best opinion. I'm sure you figured that out already. Anyway, here's my poem. Maybe you'll learn something. Amy likes spiders. You know what I heard about Amy? Amy likes spiders. Icky, wriggly, hairy, ugly spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a cute singing voice. I heard her singing my favorite love song. Every time she sang the chorus, my heart would pound to the rhythm of the words. But she likes spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. One time, I hurt my leg really badly. Amy helped me up and took me to the nurse. I tried not to let her touch me. She likes spiders, so her hands are probably gross. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a lot of friends. I always see her talking to people. She probably talks about spiders. What if her friends start to like spiders too? That's why I'm not friends with her. It doesn't matter if she has other hobbies. It doesn't matter if she keeps it private. It doesn't matter if it doesn't hurt anyone. It's gross. She's gross. The world is better off without spider lovers, and I'm gonna tell everyone.
Okay. Not bad, right? It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yesterday's was way too short. I was just warming up. I hope you didn't think that was the best I could do. No, of course not. Anyway, the message is pretty straightforward in this poem. I doubt I have to explain it. Sometimes you can explain complicated issues with much simpler analogies. And it helps people to realize how stupid they're being. Like anyone would agree that the subject of this poem is an ignorant jerk. Oh. Okay. Do you know people like that? Of course. It's about how everyone thinks That doesn't matter. It can be about anything. I wrote it to be easy to relate to. Everyone has some kind of weird hobby or a guilty pleasure. Something that you're afraid if people find out. They'd make fun of you or think of less of you. But that just makes people stupid. Who cares what someone likes as long as they're not hurting anyone, and it makes them happy? I think people really need to learn to respect others for liking weird things. Well, you're definitely right. At least I can relate to that. And I'm sure a lot of other people can, too. It's what I do best, after all. I don't like writing unless there's a good message to take away from it. Like conveying emotions is important. But I want to make people think, not just feel. Remember that. I'm gonna write a good one for tomorrow's, too. So look forward to it. Okay. Let's do Sayori next. Oh! I like this one, Bozek! Hey, see you later, Mackenzie. Take care. It has some nice feelings in it. See you next stream. I'm glad. Does that mean it's better than yesterday's? Yep. Take care. Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both. No comment. Women are scary. You get used to them after a while. That's not very helpful, you know. Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad. But that's why I just go by my heart. If it makes me feel things, then it must be a good poem. I'm not sure that's that's not even her speaking. I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. Then again, I guess conveying feelings is a pretty important part of this whole thing. Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I don't even know what kind of writing you like in the first place. Yeah, me neither. Why don't you at least try giving it some thought? Aw, you want to write something for me? That's so sweet. Yeah, right. But you're always thinking about other people. You need to think about yourself for once in a while. If you don't, you might end up getting hurt at some point. Eh? Well, I don't really know what you mean, but I'll try to keep it in mind. Well, whatever. Anyway, let's see. I guess I like happy poems. Wait, sometimes I like sad poems too. Sometimes a little bit of both. There's a word for that, right? What's the word I'm looking for? Bittersweet. Yeah. Yeah. I like things that are happy and things that are sad. Happy and sad? I can't see you liking something sad, Sayori. Well, I like happy the most. But sometimes when you have a little rain cloud in your head, a sad poem can help give the rain cloud a little hug and make a nice happy rainbow. Sayori, that's unexpectedly poetic. It is? Maybe I'm getting better at expressing my feelings after all. Thanks, Bozek. I should go write that down then. You can read my poem now, okay? Bottles. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. Excuse me. It's the secret place where I keep all my dreams, little balls of sunshine, all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly, but there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe, and I put the bottle on the shelf with all the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts in bottles all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends. Each bottle a starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friends feel a certain way, down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging. Scraping and scraping. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally all done, I open up, and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them off from the shelf, one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters against the tile between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts in shards, all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading something, but all I hear is echo, 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 inside my head. Okay. Holy crap. Sayori, did you really write this? Of course I did. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was gonna write the best poem ever? Whoop. Yeah, but, I mean, I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monica taught me a whole lot, and I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see that. It's almost kind of creepy. Creepy? Well, not exactly. Maybe because I'm so used to you being cheerful. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. The point is, it came out good, so you should be proud of it. Aw, thanks. I feel like it was meant to express myself this way. It even helps me understand my own feelings little bit better. Writing is like magic. You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I hope you keep it up. Yeah. Writing's the best. I'm gonna keep writing until I die. Don't get ahead of yourself. Sayori's always had a bad habit of getting obsessed with something, before dropping it no more than a week later. I wonder if this is one of those times, but seeing the passion in her eyes makes it hard for me to be pessimistic. Who should I show my poem to next? Monica next. Let's go, Monica. Hi again, Bozek. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You'd never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica. Alright. This one's good. It feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is getting better than the last one I read. Just wondering, but have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style? I guess so. You can't deny that she's talented. Yeah, totally. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. Oh my. I may have to end the stream soon because my mouth just keeps drying up. She's like a totally different person when she picks up a pen. I noticed that too. Or when she's talking about literature, it's like a light turns on inside her. Sadly, it's hard to get much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. Who knows what goes on in that head of hers? I hope you don't mean that in a bad way. No, of course not. I just mean that I wish she didn't keep so much to herself. But still, defending her like that, you must be pretty into her. Huh? You completely misunderstood. Ah ha ha ha, calm down, I'm kidding. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend. Wait, really? Yeah, a fictional one anyway. Monica kind of whispers that last part to me. It's just a hunch, but, well, there's not really anything wrong with that. Oh, well, I know. I was just saying. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Save me. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating waveforms. Squeaking, screeching, piercing. Sine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable. Like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless. Load me. Hold up. So I remember. Browse local files. I guess that doesn't. I'm confused. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. I need to... I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just a kind of thing I've never really seen before, I guess. I kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of the poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. I see. It's still hard for me to tell what it's about, though. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. That's right. I remember that in the original, she says stuff like this too. You never know when you might change your mind, or when something unexpected may happen. Wait, is this tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? That's my advice for the day. Thanks for listening. And last but not least, Yuri. Let's see what you've written for today. Whoop. Let's see what you've written for today. There. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Bozek. This one might be even better. Might be better than yesterday's. How did you even pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday, I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this. Used to what? I don't know. It's fine. Take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Yeah. Just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing, it just makes me really happy. Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really, I don't believe it. I really only write for myself. And besides, people would just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Huh. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share the poem that you wrote today? Yeah, I do. If it's with you. The Raccoon. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an unordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences. Well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity. The raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phase, and it reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread, fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions on to the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood, classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed myself again. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's.
I can see that.
It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sorts of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Huh, that's funny. Didn't Natsuki also write something about that? About someone being ridiculed for a strange interest? Eh? She did? Yeah. She was talking about how it doesn't matter what you're into as long as you're not hurting anybody. She's right. I mean, does she really feel that way? Yeah. Sounds like you two have that in common. That's interesting. To me, she seemed like the kind of person who would make fun of my hobbies. But I suppose that's my fault for judging, isn't it? Please don't tell her I said that. Don't worry, I have no reason to. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing with me. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening. Really aren't many people like you, Bozic. That's exaggerating a little bit. It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing. But now I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for that. It's nothing, really. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. Okay. I'm gonna save the game. Oh. Oof. I think that's it for me today. My voice is giving out on me, and I need to get some rest. We might continue this, but tomorrow I have something else planned. Tomorrow I will be visiting a something of a legend of a game. But I've never played it before. I've heard it said that it's basically it's a game that you should, you know, even if you've never regardless of regardless of anything. Ooh. There we go. How about there? That makes better sense.
Okay.
Anyway, so we will be doing Half-Life tomorrow. I will be trying to play the Half-Life series, Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. I have never played the Half-Life games, and apparently for the FPS genre, that is a must. But I'll be the judge of that. So until tomorrow, I hope you all had a great stream, or had great fun watching me. We'll see. I should be feeling better tomorrow. So maybe a longer stream tomorrow, but tonight I'm not feeling that great. So until then, please take care. Stay healthy, and I will see you then. Bye bye.